morning to you all. This is Craig Simmons, Minister of Music here at First Congregational Church in Greenwich, and today's hymn is a background on an old gospel favorite, Have Thine Own Way. It's not in either of the Pilgrim Hymnal or the New Century Hymnal in our chairs in this meeting house, but it's a song I grew up with in the Presbyterian Church, and this information is from the background on the website womenofchristianity.com. It really doesn't matter what you do with us, Lord, just have your way with our lives. This simple expression, prayed by an elderly woman at a prayer meeting one night, was the source of inspiration that prompted the writing of this popular consecration hymn in 1902. From that time to the present, it has been an influential hymn in aiding individuals to examine and submit their lives to Jesus Christ. The author of this text, Adelaide Pollard, was herself experiencing a, quote, distress of soul, unquote, during this time. It appears that it was a period in her life when she had been unsuccessful in raising funds to make a desired trip to Africa for missionary service. In this state of discouragement, she attended a little prayer service one night and was greatly impressed with the prayer of an elderly woman who omitted the usual requests for blessings and things and simply petitioned God for an understanding of his will in life. Upon returning home that evening, Miss Pollard meditated further on the story of the potter found in Jeremiah 18, verses 3 and 4. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels, and the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made again another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make it. Before retiring that evening, Adelaide Pollard completed the writing of all 4 stanzas of this hymn as it is sung today. Adelaide Pollard was known as a remarkable, saintly woman, but one who lived the life of a mystic. She was born in 1862 in Bloomfield, Iowa. She was named Sarah by her parents, but because of her later dislike of this name, she adopted the name Adelaide. After an early training in elocution and physical culture, she moved to Chicago during the 1880s and taught in several girls' schools. During this time, she became rather well known as an itinerant Bible preacher. Later, she became involved in the evangelistic ministry of Alexander Dowie, assisting him in his healing services. She herself claimed to have been healed of diabetes in that summer. Still later, she became involved in the ministry of another evangelist named Sanford, who was emphasizing the imminent return of Christ. Miss Pollard desired to travel and minister in Africa, but when these plans failed to materialize, she spent several years teaching at the missionary training school at Nyack on the Hudson. She finally got to Africa for a short time, just prior to World War I, and then spent most of her years, the war years, in Scotland. Following the war, she returned to America and continued to minister throughout New England, even though by now she was very frail and in poor health. Miss Pollard wrote a number of other hymn texts through her life, although no one knows exactly how many, since she never wanted any recognition for her accomplishments. Most of her writings were signed simply AAP, Adelaide Addison Pollard. Have Thine Own Way, Lord, is her only hymn still in use today. The music for this text was supplied by George Cole Stebbins, one of the leading gospel musicians of this century. The hymn first appeared in 1907 in Stebbins's collection, Northfield Hymnal with Alexander Supplement. That same year, it also appeared in 2 other hymnals, Ira Sankey's Hallowed Hymns New and Old, and Sankey and Clement's Best Endeavor Hymns. In 1876, George Stebbins was invited by Dwight L. Moody to join him in his evangelistic endeavors, and for the next 25 years, Stebbins was associated with Moody and Sankey and such other leading evangelists as George Pentecost and Major D.W. Whittle as a noted song leader, choir director, composer, and compiler of many gospel song selections. He has supplied the music for such popular gospel hymns as Saved by Grace, Ye Must Be Born Again, and There Is a Green Hill Far Away. He left an interesting autobiography of his life and times entitled Memoirs and Reminiscences, published in 1924. Stebbins lived a fruitful life for God to the age of 91, passing away on October 6, 1945, at Catskill, New York. The song was one of the ones, like I said before, that I grew up with, was one of my favorite hymns, one of my parents' favorite hymns, and here it is for you today. I'll sing a couple of verses for it, and you get an idea of some of the tune. Have thine own way, Lord, have thine own way. Thou art the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and make me after thy will, while I am waiting, yielded and still. Have thine own way, Lord, have thine own way. Search me and try me, Savior, today. Wash me just now, Lord, wash me just now, as in thy presence humbly I bow. And have a great week.